My voice is a little crampy today, so I apologize. Anyway, good afternoon, world. It's what is this? October 19th, 2024, and we're live and back and direct on this little podcast we call Bantu TV, where we discuss the most burning trending topics out of the Mandaland, and of course, every Sunday, like any other day. My name is Kalinda, and I'm here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, everybody was celebrate. Did I say October 9th? This is the 20th. Oh my God. I'm sorry. My brain is still in the gutter. I'm so sorry. Apology. So anyway, I have my colleagues here, of course. So let's start with our beloved peers. Come on, you guys do your vavozellas, and the dog is saying bye. He's having mechanical issues in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kumail Bari Kumail.
Even Kuma Islands, didn't they have Newton over there or didn't get there?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's, we welcome you to this podcast. Of course, Rakalin has already stated that. And of course, it's been powered in conjunction of the Red Tide Media. We're here, and the listeners are there watching, and also the want to listen and learn and contribute, and also we have divergent views from different people. Of course, like our resident PS, Ramashina Rakazia. So let's have a healthy discussion. We have got so many topics to tackle this week. There's so many things that have happened that I think we need to deal with. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. And over to you, Kazia.
Bakazia. Oh, we lost him.
He's gone.
And Dr. Danny can't hear us. So I guess we just proceed. Oh, here comes Val. Oh, here comes our beloved PS. Yeah, but it's your turn to do your vavuzelas, our beloved PS.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Kazia Chanda. I'm a former PS for Ministry of Labor and Social Security and former Labor Commissioner in the last government, the previous government. And I'm part of this discussion, and probably I bring a different perspective to the colleagues that share a different view from mine. And it's quite important that we keep that. Otherwise, I'm in Canada, New Brunswick. That's where I am. Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. And we've just been joined by Mr. Mwanga Hebert Castle. So, where are you joining us from? And welcome to our podcast. Oh, maybe he just wants to listen in. Anyway, let's quickly jump into the hot topics here, and I think we're gonna start with this breaking news. There's a statement here from State House um, uh, by the president's chief communications officer or specialist, whatever you call him, Mr. Clayton Hamasaka, where he just announced that the president has, with immediate effect, um, acting on the recommendation in the report presented to him by the Complaint Commission, removed Judge Anisitali, Judge Mungeni, and Mulenga, and Judge Palanlonda from their respective offices
Mm.
as judges of the Constitutional Court of Zambia. The removal of the state judges is an exercise, of course, with the powers vested in the president in Article 43B and C of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. Let's
Mm.
start there. I mean, we saw this coming. The court, of course, last week through their petitioning, stating the three judges presented their petition in a wrong court. So now, on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, the president has finally removed the three judges from the bench at the Constitutional Court. Gentlemen, these are serious issues affecting our country. I mean, I don't even know how to start that, but there you have it. I mean, we smelled it
I'd like
out.
to hear what Wakazi has to say about it. I'll be very interested to hear.
Yes.
No, why should it be
No,
Mr. Kazia every time? Can I
no,
also
maybe.
start?
So maybe
Okoboyi wa
before.
Jana Mwisa Kalili.
So maybe
Why
before
Mr. Kazia
Bakazia
every time?
starts.
Mnakuja
Ah,
sana
How
wakazi
about
yangu.
Bamacha tekanye. Bamacha fuke
maybe
Abadde
wema
before
Don't
atabwisa.
trouble
we
Mr.
I
Kazia so
know
much,
Announce
please.
Wewe
atana
mwaita
bwisa.
Bamacha fuke.
okay. Before we
Yes.
even start,
Can I?
since we're doing our vavuzelas, Mr. Himwami, do your vavuzelas, and then we have here Dr. Bulo. He's back this week. We want to hear his vavuzelas before we tackle this topic. How about that? Because we are just at the beginning of the show.
I'm joining you from Stratford. I'm joining you from Stratford in England, Shakespeare's town. It's raining. There's a terrible wind yesterday. The only thing it blew were too many leaves, but we are safe and sound. It's raining. I went to church. Oh, I went to reduce my sinful nature. I don't go to church. I go to reduce my sinful nature.
Oh my God. All right. Thank
Yes,
you for
but
that.
I'm health-wise, I'm okay.
Great.
Yes.
Dr. Bulo, welcome back.
Sure. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. And it's good to be back. Good to catch up with everybody. Hope everybody's doing fine. Yeah. No rain. Just to pick up from what my colleague said.
Mhm.
We had the hurricane. It passed by, but interestingly, it hammered Florida, but Georgia, it just like zoomed over. So a bit of flood, but it went to North Carolina where it was much more devastating. So hopefully nobody was affected by that on this line. But yeah, we pray for all those who are affected. Thank you very much. Of course, we remember our colleagues in Zambia living with 3 hours of power every day, and also the devastating impact of the drought, especially for the rural areas. Hope this year we are hoping for better rains for everyone. Thank you very much.
And for
Great.
Zambezi River. And for Zambezi River, please don't forget
Yes,
that.
Once
we
it
had
rains, we hope our Zambezi River can.
so hopefully all those prayers on Friday or Thursday worked. Anyway, Mr. Mami, you wanted to start. So how about you start the show on the firing of the three judges?
But you have used the right word. I didn't even want to use it myself. I was thinking that if I use it, it will be profanity. But listen,
But they have been
when you
fired.
are
That's what the statement
no,
said.
yeah, listen. When you are, did they apply for those jobs?
He just wants
No,
to hear my point.
no. Did they apply for those jobs?
They were appointed. I don't think they applied.
Yeah. So you see, in life we need to learn one thing. For these jobs that you don't apply for, okay, even when you are even appointed, there comes a time when you have to exit the system. Even when you are legally, you apply, time for you to come in, time for you to exit is always there. So it's not a big thing so much that it should even raise a lot of talk. There are many other people that can want to do those jobs. They are not the only fish in the sea. When you are hired, the next thing that comes, in this case, is fired. When you are appointed, the next thing is disappointed. So that's life. In fact, if they should hold it to their hearts, they will develop BP. It's a normal event. Life has ups and downs, and after all, the private practice is lucrative. They can still go and do some private work somewhere. They can become consultants. After all, they've been exposed to this highest institution that deals with the laws. So they have experience. They can be called upon. They can even apply to these other countries where they have, like our former Chief Justice Arno Sulungwe. He applied and he was picked. He went to do a good job. They can still save the world at another level. Bachanda, can you clap for me? They don't know the man.
Nalami lesa batanda bulera ndani.
Bachanda kazi ya totile niko na ande pya mano lero.
Nga batandebera tete batote.
Awe inde kwa imwe. Imwe mtote.
All right. Order in the house. Order in the house.
I don't agree.
Order in the house.
Yeah,
So
your
before
time will
maybe
come.
Bachanda comes in, let me before Kazia comes in, let me bring in a man with a sober. Okay, sorry. Let me just say this. Dr. Mbula, please. School us on this. What's your take on these firings at the Constitutional Court?
Yeah, I think my colleague just shared. I think it's a very good suggestion. You know, there's no permanent job unless even when you create your own company, sometimes you can be kicked out by people. So I think sometimes yes, you can fight, but sometimes we need to let go. And of course, there are a lot of challenges around that position. And given they had this connection with the HH before, he took his case to the Constitutional Court. So there are all these background information, but I think we shouldn't really derail Zambia. These are 3 of millions of Zambians, so there are potentially others who can be able to serve in these positions. But what we want to make sure is that whoever is in this position is very objective, because the Constitutional Court should be above the average, and maybe there should even be a term limit to it, so people don't overstay for that. Thank you very much.
Right. And now, our beloved resident PS, your take on the firings at the Constitutional Court.
My take is very different from my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty that I'm having is that there is issue of collective responsibility in the court process. If they had removed everybody from the Constitutional Court who had presided over the case, whether you said no, you said yes, and brought in new people, I would have said, okay, probably there's a level of objectivity. But you can't single out 3 people out of a decision made by many and deal with them separately and then fire them unceremoniously. This is a trap for future. This trap is going in the future. You will see more judicial officers removed in this manner. The ones that have been left there are the friends of the UPND, are the friends of the current government. The ones that they might have protected the current government when they were in opposition. So for me, it is a signal that is dangerous when you single out that, because I am just speculating, I have no factor. Is that if UPND leaves power, another quickly constituted Judicial Service Commission would be put in place by, first of all, terminating all the services for all the ones that are in the commission as there, bring in a new set of people, raise new fresh charges for all the judges that are sitting in Constitutional Court, Court of Appeal, and remove them, and bring others that are going to be friendly to the government that might be coming in. I think it's a problem. I would have loved that if it is a question of dealing, you deal with everybody in the same manner. I have been a little bit concerned with selective application of the law. When you are seen to be part of the system, favor government, be it because you are speaking good about them, therefore you deserve a fair or something lenient for you. We have kicked out objectivity in those scenarios. So I'm a bit worried with the way it has been done. I don't agree with it. I think we must stop having people that are appointed by the president to be removed in such manners, especially that they've gone through the parliament for ratification. Probably if they are going to be removed, I would want a parliamentary committee to be the ones to deal with such, so that at least there is level of objectivity around the parliament, because it has different stakeholders. So I think we need to look at that, and I do not agree with the way it has been done, but it has been done anyway. It has been set a precedence for future.
Well, okay.
But Chilufia.
This one, here's my take. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start this one by saying, look, uh, John Sango, constitutional lawyer, well-known, renowned lawyer. At first, he said the the bench that has been instituted is not qualified. That's what he said himself. It's there in public domain. They are not qualified to be constitutional lawyers. Okay, and he was actually even his license was even suspended at one point, if you remember. All right. So he was actually exposing to say, look, we need to build a different system when it comes to constitutional law and who are the judges and how the appointment is going to be made. Okay, so that we don't have this discussion. So in the next future, or as we go on, we need to start looking at, okay, how are constitutional judges going to be appointed? What qualifications do somebody needs to have to be a constitutional judge, so that we don't find ourselves in this issue whereby this one is appointed, this one is appointed, and if he's not a friend of this one, is not a, look, me, I'm giving it to you directly. Okay, I just want everybody to know and say, look, forget about our president, forget about the past president. Okay, if we have this institution that is very, very, very new. Okay, we've never had a constitutional court before. This is very, very new, and this is the first time that it's been running. Now, in the next future, 5, 10 years from now, how is it going to look like? Do we still going to have a system whereby the constitutional court judges are appointed by the president, and maybe he may put, like, look, anybody, even me, right? If I was the president, I would put my people, my friends that I feel they are, talking my language. But if there are some people that are not talking your language, what do? You get rid of them. Let's put in place certain laws in place whereby maybe, like he was saying, I followed him very, very, very well. Maybe they should go through the law system. And in the law system, within those circles, they should be able to point out who should be a constitutional judge. Okay? So those are the things that we need to really understand. And let's not forget one thing. If this is not done, then this would it would be like something that will be happening every next 5 years or 6 to 5 years to be the same thing. Okay, so let's look at it in a different perspective. Lawyers, laws, if we want to put up a constitutional judge, can we have a detailed system where we know that, okay, these are the qualifications that is needed for somebody to be a constitutional judge? Is there
In
a level of confidence?
conclusion, In
Is there a level
conclusion.
of qualification? Is there a level of qualification? That's all I'm asking. Is there a level of qualification? Because if Vasango can say that the people that were there were not qualified, what is, what constitution, or what qualifies them, or what is it that somebody has to be, what is it, or what qualifications are needed to be a constitutional judge? We want to know, as Zambians. Beautiful question.
All right. All right. Um, hmm. Interesting submissions here, gentlemen. And
Yes.
so let me pick back on what the our beloved resident PS has said. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you're telling us that this has set a bad precedent. Um, so I guess the question is for people who are out there that don't know how a constitutional court, a judge can get fired. Somebody maybe on this forum, just refresh our memories. What steps the president gets before um, he fires a constitutional judge? Anyone can pick that up legally, because the way it is, it sounds like it's done it legally. So somebody just freshen my memories. What steps does the president need to take to get to a point where he fires a constitutional judge? Who
Yeah,
wants to take
what
this?
I mean,
Yes.
it is not that it is illegally done.
Okay.
It is not. That is not the question, that whether it is legal or not. You can abuse the legal process and do it, and find a sneaky way of doing it through the legal process. The question is, for me, which I have been there, is how do we entertain as a people that in one city, other judges are there? They are part of the same court. They are part of the constitutional court. Then you come and isolate three. And these three, because of the judgment that was there, which each binds even the ones that had been sent in review to it. Because that is what the collective responsibility is. So if you are going to remove people, they are removed from a position of collective responsibility. And then you twist, you twist to create. You see, in Bemba they say, and that is why if people choose, people in government or politicians choose to do a wrong thing, they can do it anyway. They would find a sneaky way of doing it. But is it the right way to do it? Is it a moral conscience that you're having? Because you see, in these decisions that are made, you must look for the future. And I give examples of where at times politicians have to choose to do the right thing and they do the wrong thing. In this context, the decision has been made. I can't question it, I can't change it, because I'm bound by the same law that establishes that. But I have a right to say, this system, another person will use it in the same way. And this is what is eroding our justice system. It is going to erode our justice system if we do not have the level of integrity, level of principle, level of consciousness that should say, even if this didn't favor me at the time, I have to correct it going forward. Not to go dig back into it and do the Mingalato way of doing it. It's not going to work out for us, because another person is coming. Bakalinda, me, I've served in all the governments, including the UPND government. By the way, I served in it for about 3 weeks. I've served in all governments, and I have been a civil servant throughout, and I have seen how politicians make same mistakes even when you come and tell them. Right now, we say this justice system that you're creating, UPND, but president, Be careful with this kind of judgment system. It will come back to haunt you. It will come back to haunt the people that have worked so much for government, so much for Zambia to correct some of the things. They'll face the same thing that we're doing. And we are telling you how it will happen. That another one will come and do exactly, just dismantle the Judicial Conference Authority, bring in new people, have sponsor a person who is, let's say, the way I was close to President TCO and he's back in government as being his permanent secretary, I would go and say, oh, President TCO, let me go and raise it to the Constitution, to the Conference Authority, so that I am sponsored and take this thing back into court. What will stop the court acting when everyone else is appointed with a similar manner? So my view is just a concern. But if it doesn't make sense, we can as well forget about it and wait for future for posterity to judge us. But for me, I think we must be very careful with the condition.
So are we saying that these people that are all going to relevant authorities or agencies to complain about the many injustices that they felt or they went through under the previous regime, they're sponsored by the current? Is that what I'm hearing here? Just to maybe clarify that for me, because I'm lost. Because if that young man, what's his name? The young man who's taken, the young man who's taken the former president to court on his eligibility case, Mazombe, what's his name? Yeah. You know. So are we saying that my young man is being sponsored by the current regime? Are we saying the gentleman who took the 3 judges to the JCC is also a state-sponsored individual? He has no intelligence, integrity to think things through and say, look, I'm a Zambian citizen. I feel, I was wronged by the way these judges handled whatever they handled, or they're not qualified enough based on State Council Sangwa's, public pronouncements. So can I take can I take up this issue with the JCC? Are we saying all these people are state sponsored? I just need to know the facts. And where we just, it's easy.
Let me clarify that.
No, yeah. I think it's easy to taint people's
Can I clarify?
without getting facts in black and white.
Can I clarify, if you may allow me to go?
Okay, you qualified, and then
Yeah.
Mr. Macha, please.
What?
On the back of his, please answer that.
You see, the affinity and the proximity of the complainants to the current government is the same way the proximity and the relationship with the people that have worked with PF. For instance, here on this forum, we've heard me, I'm called PF. That is what I've been called. But I was not serving PF. I was serving as a civil servant. I was never attended the political rally. But I've been labeled because I was appointed by ECL. So there is a way people see the proximity. If it is an ordinary person with no political affiliation who raises this as an issue, maybe from civil society, and he says, I'm going to take it up, it has a different view. If it is a person from the political office, political inclined person, the view is that he is sponsored by the political office which he is a member of. So these are the things that you see. These colleagues of ours, they might have a moral conscience that, okay, let me take it and test it. But they are so close to the current government. And that's what raises the question about all these judges. Why should, if he was very objective, why not raise across all the judges that they should go, rather than the people that have been taken from the judgment, the ones that you see, those. Because these things have a history behind it. So it's not every case that is sponsored. It is when you are too close to the current government or the previous government, and then you take a matter. That is why you see either the PF will say it's UPND, the UPND say it's PF, even if the person has his own moral judgment on the matter. So it's not in all cases, Wakalinda, to just be clear about that.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. I was saying this.
No, it was my chance now. Was it not my chance?
Mr.
Okay.
Mami
Go ahead.
that. Then go ahead.
I was reading an article somewhere from Rwanda where one president said, for the country to develop, the tribe must die. That tribal tag
Hmm,
hinders development.
hmm,
You see, what sponsors people to say or do all what they are saying? To say this judge did that, did that, what they did something wrong. See, it's in the constitution. Even every one of us here, we've got that right. It even starts with we the people. The power is with the people, not with the political party. People, individuals, we have the power. We can raise, we are not sponsored by a party or a group, NGO, to say this judge did what is wrong, so the law must take its course. We are we have a duty of care as individuals. Firstly, as in, it's not about belonging to a particular group or belonging to a particular tribe. That tribal thing must die if we want development. You see, process will protect content. If we do things wrongly, if we don't follow the constitution, if we individuals do not speak what is wrong about systems through the constitution, then we shall be wrong. But if we are following the constitution, like we are empowered now, we are clearly told, we the people, we will defend the constitution. If an individual defends the constitution, it matters less from which tribe he belongs to. It's it doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, for as long as it kills the cat. Perfect. Thank you.
Now, a quick question,
But
Karim.
Lufia.
I want a quick question, just a point of clarification.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Who is talking about the tribe?
No, the name, the name. You yeah, the name. You say the closeness, the closeness. Okay,
To
can you
what?
define the closeness? What do you mean
I
by
said
closeness
to a
to the ruling
political
party?
party. I said to a political party. I never mentioned the tribe. How can you bring a tribe in that? Affiliation to a political party has nothing to do with a tribe. So I don't know where you're getting
No,
the issue of the tribe. Who mentioned the tribe
yeah.
here?
no.
Well, maybe,
No, here it's
maybe.
generally
No, no,
put. Okay,
but how
generally
does the
put.
tribe come in?
No, generally
No,
put.
no, but how does
Generally
the
put.
tribe come
Yes.
in when you generally compete? How does the tribe come in?
Okay, okay. I think I think we're forgetting the main point.
I need answers to that.
The main
Oh,
point
you
is
need the
this.
answer as to how the tribe comes in. Eh?
How does the tribe come in the submission that I made here? How does the
Okay,
tribe come in?
it has not come from you, but it has come from many circles
No,
who
but I
think
mean for
that
my submission,
the
because the reaction is to my submission, Mamacha.
All
So
right.
how
okay,
does the tribe
So
okay,
come
on your
in?
okay.
submission, on your
When you
Yes,
say
submission.
the closeness, when you
yes, I
say
said
the closeness,
closeness to the political party. I was very
no,
illustrative and clear. How does the tribe
maybe I
come
didn't
in?
get that. Maybe that one did not come straight to me. I didn't get that clearly as
No, but the question,
closeness
how
to
does
a
the tribe
political
come
party.
in? No?
No, I withdraw
Okay,
that one.
can to run
I
this
Let's
didn't
guy.
let's
get
I
it.
withdraw that one.
Okay,
let's
okay, okay.
okay. Let's withdraw.
Ramasha,
Uh,
Lakazia,
Bakazia was
He
Ramakazia.
has
very clear.
withdrawn, it's okay.
Yeah.
I've
It's been
withdrawn.
withdrawn. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the issue.
Yeah. Let me protect before you come in, Patricia. Let me protect Bakazia for a change because he feels not protected. Bakazia didn't mention anything about tribe. I think he was talking about the associations of whoever took the cases to the powers that be to the current political party. I think that's where it's coming from. Now, having said that, Bachelor, you can go ahead.
Yeah. I think we were all missing the point. My big question was, do we have a certain standard to have? Because look, the constitutional court is very new in our system, in the government of Zambia. I think it was instituted, was it what, in 2016? Like, as you can correct me. I think that's when it's the first time we had a constitutional court. We've never had a constitutional court before in this country. So we need to understand this. Like, look, this is a new court system. And that system, the way it's been designed, if you take a case there, what they decide or what they rule on is final. There's nothing that you can do to repeal it or counteract. Okay, the decision is final in the constitutional court, right? So we need to now start thinking like, look, okay, if we have this design of a system, and we will have, looking at our constitution how it is with so many lacunas that we call them, we will have so many cases that are gonna come up, different cases, different issues that will be presented in the constitutional court.
Just a minute, just a
And
minute. May I interject? Wachanda, the volume, maybe get closer to the mic a bit. I can't get you clearly. Am I the only one?
I can't also hear him very well.
Yeah. So
what?
you should have,
Apolo
no,
Moyamba.
Mama Mfweka. Should have
Yeah.
complained
So
as well. Does it take me to just complain?
And they
Ah.
are much better than you. That's why I didn't complain.
Ndamwachilanda na imwe kaidi.
Unena chila
Kutengeresha
umtwa.
so inayopiga chanya hapa.
Paya babu inonomba hapa.
So what I'm saying is this. I'm issues yeah constitution. Like I was saying, but Johnson brought up a point. That Abantu, it was saying like, look, the people that are put up a bench barrier, they are not qualified. All right. Now, what constitutes somebody to be qualified to be a constitutional judge? A question there. What qualification does somebody need to have? All right. Because can we have a standard put in place to say if you have to be a constitutional judge, you have to have these qualifications, these many years in law system, then they put you there because now you have graduated on a level whereby you can be able to handle certain cases, complicated cases, complex issues. If you're able to handle those complex issues,
yes,
then you are a constitutional judge. Mama. But Apanomba, because it was just formed, like I was saying, like we just formed it when was it 2016? I think it was 2016. I was saying, like, look, this was the first time in the history of Zambia, okay, where we've had a constitutional court. We've never had a constitution over the last 60 years. There was never a constitutional court before. So now, obviously, there are going to be some ups and downs, but let us make it in a way that in the next coming 10, 40 years from now, they'll be able to say, look, the constitutional court was built, but this is what you need or qualification you need, okay, to be a constitutional judge. There should be certain standards, right? We cannot just speak. It shouldn't be an appointment, right? Because if somebody is going to be appointed, then we're abrogating the constitution itself. Because anybody can come in and say, "Oh, I'm going to put my friend Vakalinda, and I'm going to put Vakazia, and when I want to make a certain decision, obviously they were going to agree with me because I've appointed them."
So just a minute there. Just a minute, Wachanda. So are you telling me that someone who is a constitutional court judge should differ with, for example, a head of state on a certain issue?
No, not differ. Not differ.
Uh-huh.
Not differ.
Yes.
Yes.
But here's what I'm saying.
I agree with that
Okay,
one.
just okay. If the question is directed to me, I think I need to
Yes.
answer it.
Okay, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm
You
just
have a
saying.
The
you have a
question is directed
dissenting
to
view.
me. The question
Yes.
is directed to me.
Okay,
So
go
Okay.
ahead.
I have the right to answer that question.
All right, you go
Yes.
ahead.
All right. So What I'm saying is this: it's not a matter of kuchita differ na head of state. No, no,
Mhm.
no, no.
Dissenting view.
What I'm saying is this: if we change system how we recruit constitutional judges, then that question that you've just told me will not come up, because the constitutional judges will be recruited in a system where it's an independent thought, okay, and it's a universal thought, and it's a thought whereby they will look at an issue without being biased.
Who should
That's
they
it.
be loyal to?
The Zambia chapa, the flag.
Not the
All
president.
right.
When swearing in, who
Constitution
should they take oath of office?
Constitution is not about the president. It's about Zambia as a country. If you
So
look at
when they take the oath
constitution,
of office,
the constitution,
who
the
should?
constitution is,
Uh,
is what leads us. And every other person that comes and swears on that Bible become a president. They say, I will abide by this constitution. He didn't write that constitution. That constitution was written by the Zambian people, right? And the obligation is you have to you have to abide by the constitution and the people of your country. So same thing with the constitution judges. They should only think of the Zambian people, not the
but
president.
do they take oath before the Zambian people or they take oath before the president?
From the land that we need to start looking at these things, okay? And how
Which thing in
they're
particular?
appointed.
How they should take
They are
oath?
how the
Okay, I think
constitutional
guys we're
judges
going
are
round. We're
appointed
going round. Let's
or
allow other people
recruited.
to talk too. We're
Yeah.
going
Mhm.
round. We're going round here. Just conclude your thoughts about Shafia. Let's bring in Dr. Mbulo to also add his thoughts to the discussion that we've had so far. In conclusion, go ahead.
No, no, I think I've already Oshun Papa too, no, no, Papi Ngite. So
Your,
let Wambulo come in.
yeah, your favorite thing. Dr. Mbulo, please, your take to the various submissions and questions that have come up so far on the firing of those three judges. Please come in. Okay, guys, you see, you sent Dr. Mbolo to sleep.
It's because we are not quarreling. That's why he went to sleep. We need to quarrel. We need to differ here.
Oh my gosh! Oh
Live.
my gosh!
Need to be live. Huh?
Oh my gosh! Anyway, let me take comments from our the stream here. Uh, Chris Jesse, he says collide. I don't know what he means by that. Oh, and look here. One of my cousins says I'm connected to. Oh, good. Thank you, cuz. I had to highlight. All right then. Shall we move on, gentlemen? I think I mean, I'm not even gonna say what I think about the removal because I think for me, sitting in the comfort of my home here in Indianapolis, I think as long as the law was followed to fire those three judges, for whatever conduct that they did in their past life, I said so be it, and hopefully the people that will be appointed will learn a lesson from this and uh, conduct themselves in a professional manner and unjust, a just manner for everybody because everybody goes to court to get justice. Okay, we don't go to court to now these are allegations. Maybe I should not go in there. Okay, shall we move on to the next topic? I was just gonna go off topic, and when I go off topic, it's never any good for magazine. So let me just hold it, hold it. Shall we move on to the next topic? But what was that topic? God, I was busy this past week, gentlemen. Just give me a minute. I wasn't following exactly what was going on back home. We had too much to do out here. Okay. All right. I'm sure everybody saw the video that went viral this past week when the government of the New Dawn decided to airlift doctor, well, we call him doctor now. I guess we might just as well. Dr. Kambwili from where was it? Kasama? After
Yeah,
his accident, back to Lusaka for medical treatment. We saw that video of Mwamba, Nakachinda, Lubinda. I mean, we didn't even see that Lubinda was mentioned in it. But the people who were on top of their voices, claiming that they were denied entry into seeing Dr. Kambwili's room by the government. And again, I just don't like this idea. I know people want to do politics. We want to politic in everything we do, even when somebody is sick. I mean, when I saw that video, I just said, oh my goodness, where have our morals gone? Where politicians want to use somebody's illness to gain votes. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that video? I mean, personally, Mwamba, I worked with him briefly at the times of Zambia when we were all stringers back in the day. But really, what he's doing as the PF's mouthpiece really just disgusts me. You cannot, repeat, you cannot politicize somebody's illness for a vote here and there. It's just so sad that we have gotten to these levels. Gentlemen, you come in with your thoughts on that. Shall we start with, let's try Dr. Mbulo again. You are back now? Okay. Maybe we go to Bakazia. Your thoughts on that viral video?
Yeah. I can differ with you on that.
Yeah, you come in. You go for it.
You see, the first thing is that Bakambwe is a member of that political party and is a member of that central committee, which makes Emmanuel Mwamba and Rafa Nakachinda to have the interest, personal interest as well as political interest, to receive that to receive Honorable Kambwili when he was being evacuated. There was nothing wrong in getting them, to allow them to get there, whether it's for political expedience or whether for personal expedience. It doesn't change anything, them being there. But to stop them from being there is a problem in itself. It's a very, very big problem for me. We didn't need that scare. We didn't need that public spectacle. The one who had issued instructions to stop them from going in was wrong. And that is why I saw Tabo Kawana now, not knowing who had issued instructions, just blatantly denied. No one has told you to go. In fact, that one, hey, you should check yourselves. How are you behaving? How do you tell your friends as if you are in the law? They should check the law, not check their behavior. Their behavior is regulated by the law. You can't go there and start telling your friends to say, oh, how come everyone else has been allowed? You have not, you should check yourself. No. Point to the breach that you cannot be allowed because the law doesn't allow you to be there. Not because of personal opinion of how I behave. A person may not like how I behave, but if it is within the privilege, if it's within the law, you just look the other way because there's nothing that is going to stop a person from behaving the way the man was behaving. So for me, the one who has issued instructions, if indeed there were instructions that were issued, should be the one I have a problem with. Because you don't do that. In sickness and in funeral, you don't.
I got a question for you.
Yeah?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So here's the question. Baba Mwamba, what you call him?
Banakachinda.
That guy, look, here's the thing. We all know Mwamba's history and what he does.
I can't hear you, Mwamba.
Tamulengumfwa. Wonse tamulengumfwa.
Na macha beneta bachira muntu.
Babacha mulengumfwa.
Nde mfano Mbappe.
So fonde London ifi. vana nikane vana Kachinda na va Mwamba. Okay, what we know for them, their history, we know their history. Those people, those two guys, they're there to destroy any political party. Follow them from the MMD.
No, but that's
Okay.
but what
So
law
now,
was offended by them being there?
no, there wasn't nothing was offended.
So
That's why even Wakawada was telling them that
yeah, but the question is that
once now they've been allowed to go in here to receive a chimba. Just the two of you. Nishi, there's something wrong with the two of you.
no, it can't be. But
Because you
why
two
do they know?
guys, here's the thing. We're not talking about the law. But it's
Yeah, but
behavior.
that's the basic principle.
Why couldn't I function? Walabo flex my muscles, spare my own time.
No, Bajanda.
No, you don't do that.
Today.
You don't do that. You start flexing my muscles.
What law is offended?
Mwamba. Ninevo nakachinda. Mwe bantu akwalesa. Aba neno abana bengira pe bwino bwino. Iyo wahisa bene.
What
Just
law
trying
is
to create a
offended?
confusion.
What
They were trying to create confusion.
what
Trying
law
to
was
create
offended?
content. Because by that we know now
What law was
Mwamba
offended?
Hey, what law did they break?
What law was offended? Maybe I can come in there. You see, when someone is unwell, firstly, people are entitled to their own privacy, and it matters. I don't know how many people saw Akambwi when he came in.
You don't know.
Maybe according to the doctor's advice,
Maybe.
the rate at which people started seeing Mr. Kambwili maybe was going to interfere with
Maybe.
it could have interfered. I mean,
maybe
it's right.
not, isn't it?
No, it was going to interfere with his condition.
How do you know?
No, he was injured and he was in an accident.
So how do you know that now the number is limited?
Don't they have visitation time? And was he in an ICU or emergency room?
It was at the airport, Mambulo. It wasn't at the emergency.
So
At the
and
airport.
that's the more reason. That's the more reason they needed to control the number of people to see him. Maybe maximum.
Yes, in the maximum, you should say it. Kawana needed to say that because the number now is but you can't tell but check your behavior. How? You can't use that because
their behavior has always been bad.
No, but the question is how do you determine someone's
behavior always been bad
without the law?
Desperate. You see, those two are using desperate times to get desperate measures.
You cannot control behavior outside the law. You can't, because your behavior will be also Kawana's behavior was bad. You understand? Because it is someone.
He was just answering the questions.
Yeah, but the question
he told them directly. To say,
that's why.
Any problem work what?
Okay,
he told them directly. He was very calm. By the way, he was very calm when he was telling.
Suppose we had
what law was offended which should have been
suppose we had the opposite to say chimbatale bafayo kuba mwana bali abantu
suppose now we are supposing now what we are thinking.
Yes, we are not there, we don't know the truth, so we can only speculate.
I agree that if suppose Tshimbakambwili said he didn't want to see them and they were stopped, it is right. Now suppose Tshimbakambwili wanted to see them and they were stopped. Because
that's 50-50 now.
Yes,
that's 50-50. So we don't know.
Now we are right. Now
that's why we are being. That's why we are being.
You go to the law. When your judgment is as good as mine, we go to what the law provides for. We don't go to what your feelings are.
The law on privacy.
I submit,
the law on privacy of a patient.
No, but
Dr. Mbulo, Dr. Mbulo, what's the law on the privacy of a patient?
Well, I think it depends on the person, yes. But of course the hospital, the doctor will determine. If the person is critical, they'll stop people from coming. And I mean, if you go to like UTH, their visiting time. You can sneak in and see somebody, but they have some restrictions. So it allows the doctors, the nurses to be able to work and observe the patient, and they have time for visitation. So, but I don't know. Somebody said he was not at the hospital, so maybe it's a different situation.
And the fact that he was not at the hospital, that's why they required to institute a
You
strict
see,
of measures.
Ramasa, look at the difference in the way Bambulo is explaining the matter. Bambulo is saying there are rules. Even in hospital, you are supposed to go at this time. It's a rule. So how emotional you are, they will show you to say it's a rule. This is an intensive care unit. It is a rule. That is the point that I'm saying, because I feel like it's feeling affluence. But the rules are there to guide both of us when we have a point of difference. So if Mwamba Nanakachinda was going to be not to be allowed, they should have been referred to the law, not to the feeling that muimone. How can a person see himself? How let's use the law, let's use the legal means to stop those guys. I have no problem you stopping them, but you should tell them the law they've offended for you to stop them, not the way you are feeling at that point in time.
But what's so special about those two going in when on that day we had what's his name? What is name? God, the one who is going for president. What's his Mundubile? I always forget his name. Mundubile and the PF MPs were allowed to see him. What's so special about those two?
That is what we
and after seeing him, they could have even reported to those two.
No, but that is what we needed to hear from Kawana. We never heard that from Kawana. That is what
Mundubile was actually right there.
No, he wasn't there, Mundubile. Check.
He was right
He's
there.
If
you didn't see it on the video,
he's not the one in the picture.
No, he's the one who was standing next to
yes, next. He was next. He was there.
Yes.
Desperate times, desperate measures for those two. That's what they are doing.
Yeah.
They just want to gain some political mileage.
How can they gain political mileage out of it? Tell me how.
They want sympathy.
They have been victimized.
But the question is, how do you get sympathy?
We are being even denied entry to see
how is
our colleague.
Then the sympathy will actually get it.
Come on now. Listen to me, Kazia. If those people had Shimba Kambuli's best interest, believe they should have been on the road with him to Kasama to attend that court hearing. That's if they had his best interest, that's where they should have been. You see how they surround ECL when he goes to court?
But Mundubile was not with him when he was going to Kasama as well.
No, they should have been. That's what I'm saying. Even in Abena Mwamba himself should have been, if they think Ochimba Kambwili is a political heavyweight in the PF, they should have been with him on the way.
You see, those are personal opinions now.
The same way they go to the surround FT, whatever his name is, Chagwa, whatever his name is, to the, to his court cases in Lusaka. They should do the same one to their own person. They were so speaking boldly about him being a member of the Central Committee.
But even the ones
supposed to go there with
the ones that
no. You're not going to change my thinking on that.
No, I'm just
all I'm saying is that they were using that platform for political mileage.
What mileage?
That's it.
So.
Yes.
What mileage?
Anyway, let's bring
people will say that they have been victimized.
Yes.
Which people?
Anyway, let's bring in Lady Sarah, who wasn't with us last week, but we are so happy she's here today. Welcome back. Still on mute.
Hi. How are you doing?
I missed you, Basira. I missed you.
You're looking bright.
Yes.
You missed me, Wakazia.
On
On which lines?
Even all the lines.
Explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll explain off camera.
I'm here. How is everyone? Today, all the topics I'm behind. I'm no longer very active on social media. I don't know.
You're taking a break. You're taking a mental break. Sometimes
Not
people.
really like taking a break, but I want
Digital
to do
detox.
things that are giving me,
Money.
very good, rewarding things.
No, for a break, you need us.
I know, but what
Yes.
I'm trying to say is that the topics for today, I'm not very familiar because there's one big topic that is going on with
My name is
some members somewhere. So
Oh,
Some.
uh,
Oh, that's
Bring,
long
bring,
gone.
bring, 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 bring that topic. What topic are you talking about?
Ifumo.
That's last week's topic.
Ifumo.
That was being it
Akapaf.
was propaganda by PF. Yeah. I mean, it
but
was.
otherwise, I'm fine and I'm happy to be here again. Though I won't take long, I'll have to exit at some point. But whatever you are saying, I'll be
Okay.
listening.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, are we going back to the
In fact,
Mundubile story?
Sarah, before you drop out, I think you had something to say about fidia ama government yambi kwatabe na lungu omo balechita when they're bringing people they want to bali abantu they work for them and then you find abantu kwati avena tasila mwana nakwata ma properties whereby questionable and then when the president appoints Mwanawasa's daughter batamba kumvika mumali yambi yakwe bati awe uyu muntu bamusapoint because mukashi like vakateka evale muchitanani kani like look abantu vakwalesa how can that even be possible we all know vakateka loves
But ndakulandisheni
so
kumfu tatule umfu mwambo 10
tabule
amashini
umfwa
landisheni katiseni kuishu
so the
I
thing
didn't
is
want
this
to say anything. I thought maybe my hearing needs hearing aids.
eh, oh okay so for the land we want to akwalesa nifi vakateka vachisapointi mwana wako mwana wani abantu
why mwana
tishwa
lete feel critical pano vashanda ikale
anyway we have to deal with these issues because
okay we will
Critical
ubufi
thinking.
waba PF
Critical thinking is part
ubufi
of
waba
life.
PF ubufi waba PF namushupa n'obufi
imwe
wabona okay namushupa n'obufi
there's no smoke without fire
abena nani kale bali
So she was appointed to what
indalama
position and
cha
what was
mauko
the
bali
basis?
sanga mayanda it's different this is not the way bakateka he runs his life he loves bamutinka
amwe
Okay.
shiba
that's it.
Can you give a bit of background? What position
Why
she
are
was
we even
appointed
bringing this
and for
topic?
what
Like
basis?
it doesn't make any sense to me. Why are we having it?
vachera lekeni mbasukeko vachanda in one moment vachanda you see these are the things that you just bring criticisms on yourselves for nothing. There is no need to bring that story here. There's absolutely no need because it's very relevant for me. Because if you start doing that, you are the one who are again are scratching people to start talking about it.
Yeah, we are cheapening the
You are
president.
actually opening it for discussion. If you level of politics, this is the same way
Okay.
you can also take it political. And they say, let them
Progress. Progress.
declare
Progress.
I have one wife, but he has not declared the assets. Yachinja na
Okay.
store.
Progress.
You understand?
Progress.
So, if you
Progress. Progress. Progress.
Right.
There,
Well,
progress.
let me bring in somebody new here. Convent Mufwabi. Please come in. Tell us where you're joining us from, and we're talking about the political mileage that Mwamba and his group were trying to get out of Chishimba Kambwili's medical emergency this past week. Your comment on that, sir, Mr. or Miss Convent Mufwadi. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Can you hear us, please? Hello, are you there? Okay, maybe we move on. Shall we put the topic of Mwambandi's group to bed? Should we move on to
Yes.
the next exciting? I think this is what
Yes.
Zambians need to be talking about
Mhm.
every day until the next harvest season. And this is government distributing all the farming inputs to farmers throughout the country, even before the rains start. Your
Mhm.
feelings about that? Because in the past, I mean, we've had issues with governments distributing farming inputs to our farmers so they can grow our food and do what they need to do to make a good harvest for everybody. Shall we start with? How about we start with the always logical, rational doc, Dr. Mbula? Your comment on that. Second time
Okay.
in the row, all
Sure.
the farming inputs are out there.
Sure. Thank you very much. I think Shima is very, very important. So definitely, but I think I don't know. We always go back and make, I don't know if the same mistake or the same intervention. Counter tried it before and all that. So I think the guys in the Ministry of Agriculture should really reflect on this. How best can we really support farmers? We have tried, we had cooperatives before. I think somebody tried to bring them back. How best can we distribute these inputs? Who are you going to target? And is it sustainable? Because HH can do it now. Next year, I become president, I'll throw it out. Or the IMF come and say, no, you can't do this. You don't have money to do this. So can we make it sustainable? And can we empower the farmers in such a way that this should be a loan, not just free, and should be find a way to be able to support them. So I don't know. I think at this point we should be able to come up with a mechanism, because even the distribution of these inputs, I mean, it's just like relief, it's just like CDF funds. Is there a way to account for this? So it's going to really distribute this. So I think maybe we need to really come up with a better system to be able to identify and allocate these inputs to people, and maybe make them pay back, make it a loan, can we make it sustainable? So one option is we can work with some banks, maybe small scale banks, some community organization cooperatives, and then let's use our, I think one good thing I've realized is, we have the national registration card in Zambia. If we have that well computerized and systematized, we can be able to track everybody wherever you go in Zambia, as long as you have an RC. And now ZRA also gives the tips number. So there are ways we can be able to track people. So when we are given bags of fertilizer and seeds, so we should know who was allocated these and be able to account for that. Because if I'm the chief, I get all this, I might keep 50% to myself, give to people I want. So I think it's really understanding how these inputs are going to be distributed, and how do we make sure that everybody who is supposed to receive these, and not just people who have influence. Thank you very
Wow.
much.
Oh, that's why we love him. Mr. Masha, you and I are from Shibuyunji. All our farmers have their farming inputs. Your take on that?
Yes. If there's something that embarrasses a person back home, is not to have milimi in the house, especially when it is raining. It's the worst thing that one can ever experience.
Can you say that again, Mama?
Yeah. I just see
It's very embarrassing not to have Millie in the house. It's very embarrassing not to have Millie in the house.
yeah.
Especially in Flangaide Locaso. Abana Valekulolesha, so they want to eat, and you know very well there's no food. Your own home becomes a no. Don't hammer me. But and you know, but when it's not your fault, it's an act of God. You just have to pray to say, God help me. An act of God is not your fault. Like drought was now, where everything becomes expensive out of drought. Somehow nangubanje bati yakulipya kulya munganda muno. I can just say, let's go and pray.
I'm so,
Then when
I'm,
inputs are brought on time, I've been a victim. Let me put this right. I've been a victim of this inputs from government. They are brought at a time when I needed the urea at most. There was nothing. The urea fertilizer. I can't use it. Or sometimes maybe they bring D fertilizer fast. They bring urea fertilizer late. The chaos. The chaos was order of the day, and late distribution affected the farmer's plan. Because like maize, when you plant it, after maybe about 21 or 30 days, you have like a certain type of fertilizer. After some days again, you have like a certain type of fertilizer. So when those are not in your house, you are relying on someone to bring them. It becomes very tricky. With the early distribution of this thing, it will work out. And then the part where I'm speaking in unison with the doctor is on the sustainability of this. Every time people are getting these inputs, every time, when are they graduating? You need these people to reach a level where they'll say, no, I think we have our own money to buy fertilizer. Give it to others or we don't need it. So that maybe more people get on board. Or we stop using other people to grow our own food. Because if someone feeds you, get to know that it's very embarrassing. We can't be fed by someone. Even government to even proudly say government is feeding us, government is feeding us. No, it's not an achievement. Food, you must work for it. You must get it. Your own waters taste sweet. I yield.
right. Let's try Convent Mufwabi. Can you hear us now? Can you join in? And please just let us know where you're joining us from today. Oh, maybe they're scared. All right. Bachilufia, you have the floor.
Irregular farming, let's coin it out in farming, and let's
Carboy
coin out.
Bachilufia.
I think let's coin this issue that we're discussing in terms of farming, okay? And let's discuss it in a way like we've had and we always have had good rain seasons in the past. Now, all of a sudden, there's no rain and stuff like that. We're experiencing a drought that's been classified as the worst drought in the history of Zambia. One more. So, what are we doing? Okay, what are we doing? What are we saying, or what are we doing in terms of, alleviating ourselves in that situation? Of course, we've got the disaster,
We need
management unit.
we need to harvest the waters that are coming with this rain
Yes,
season. In fact, especially if we are
I'm
predicting
coming.
floods.
I'm coming there. So first thing
Oh,
we
okay.
need to do is this. Like I said in the last discourse, I said, can we build, first of all, grain terminals in strategic area, okay, where we can, have at least we know that this is our grain, pure grain, and it's homegrown. We know what we have as a country, and not only maize. Let's look at let's look at millet. Let's look at all these other issues, the other crops. Soya, the soya area has helped many poor families in this country before. Alright? Akali kwale nga mwaya kukunda nga ku hospital. If they feel like you or they recognize that you down in certain deficiencies, they would give you what yeah, I don't know what they used to call it. They give you that at some point. What was it called? I forget the name. But they used to give you that just to make sure that your iron is up to par. It was recommended by the government at that time. You know, it was recommended. They give you bakupera. No. Your iron is bad and stuff like that. Here we're going to give you this, and it was free. Okay, you don't have to pay, but because if your iron is down and stuff like that. So we need to start looking at all these issues, all these crops, so that abantu amina Zambia everywhere, you know, from Wafia, Wakota, you don't have enough energy, the government is able to help you. And we can do that out of farming. Out of farming. So our inputs and all those things, yes, everybody is getting inputs at the right time right now. But here's the thing, Zambia was not getting our input at the right time because we were importing everything. Twaleta import, okay, D compound from as far as Russia. But now it's being made and produced in Zambia with the initiative of this government. Okay. So now look at this. If people don't know, Qualiwac Plant United Capital Company, they're now the best producer of urea. Sorry, D compound. They are exporting it to Botswana and all these neighboring countries. Yeah? After satisfying the market of Zambia, they're able to export it outside Zambia. So that's why we're able to say, oh, wow, we now have imports on time, we have all these things, but the farmers themselves, they need to say, look, if we're having all these imports on time, what are we going to do? Let's start thinking outside the box. Let's start thinking about irrigation. Let's not only farm when it's in because that has been the norm. Why don't we farm, the whole year round? Efo balera banante ba president. We want to acquire. Let's start farming the whole year around. Let's not only depend. Nga imvula yaisa, that's when you start farming. No. All right. Manawasa brought out the winter maize project. This is what he's saying as well. All right. This is what he's saying. If
In
even Gaddafi.
conclusion,
In conclusion, I'm going to tell you a story. When Gaddafi came to Zambia, he looked at the waters and he was like, that time, this is where the winter maize project started from. Because Mwanawasa went to Kukunai, Kukulibi. He went there, and he said, how are you doing this? He said, look, us, what we do is we regret everything that we do. It's irrigation. Oh, wow. Did it really? Did he insist it's irrigation? And it's, this is how we grow our crops. And then when he came to Zambia, he was invited. When he was passing Paka Bridge, salolesha njere kamezhiyosaya njira ndi muzambia muno muzambia I thought nimfika ku country mbiche no you're still in Zambia Gaddafi kusamwewa mwana wasinjira mwana wasa tampa winter maize project abantu bobe tabakachule because that time he went there to beg for relief, and it's been happening in the years in the past. It's not only the president right now saying that, oh Shadi, why is the president asking Gaddafi? If you go in the history, he in fact now he even gave us the Nama camels. Go in the history and read about that. Okay, but that's where the winter maize project started. I heard.
Right. Bakazia, you have the flow.
Before Mr. Kazia comes in, before he comes in, just a minute to add on what Pachanda was saying. Where he says we should do farming all year round. We should also not politicking all year round. Let's do farming all year round. Just politicking all year round. Year in, politicking. What if we did the opposite? Farming all year round. There'll be a lot of food and there will be less talk about this politics. Like
But politics makes
One
the
second.
decision about the policies, about the farming all year round. The impact is
That's right,
political.
But if we do farming all year round, everyone will be satisfied and no one will be complaining.
No,
Yeah, but before you start that, you have to discuss
Yes,
politically
all year round
how
both.
you allocate the
Both
resources,
activities.
the fertilizer, everything.
Wamacha. Move. Now move around the Wamburu first.
Yes,
It's
sir.
policy. I'm a policy policy.
Yes.
First, for instance, mwalistisha amataba. Yonse yashitishiwa. What is the fallback plan in terms of policy? We say, are you going to create? I think it was the first discussion which I was getting on this forum, where I said, you see, if we were in Zambia, we have not graduated from small-scale farming, which is at family level, because that is where food sustainability is, at family level. It is not at commercial level. Now, when maize was sold, it was with a view that we're going to propel commercial production to the level that it is going to satisfy the market and therefore push the pricing down, and the availability of milling was going to be everywhere, because we have created an incentive system around the agricultural sector. But for me, I said it is not going to work that way, because my incentives, even if you give commercial farmers incentives, they will sell the maize outside because it is more lucrative. Now, very early in the fertilizer for all commercial farmers is going to be 5 kwacha. They will produce 10 million bags, but at the end of the year, the whole thing is gone. And how it has left the country, only God knows. Mass smuggling and everything happens. But it is at the family level that the politics must get it right, so that the policy framework is able to sustain food at household level. For instance, there was a very big promise of fertilizer 8 each, from 6 to 8. We see people who are fertilizer immediately in Sarayingi. Now imagine that coupled with drought. What happens now? And then, as though that's not enough, this is why I always come back and say, if you do not go back and subsidize food, pick a later problem for you, PND, going forward. Whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, that is up to you. But for me, I've told you, because bamacha mwandirati nga umuntu takwetebunga munganda umusebanya ulafulana ensala ilafulana. So you need to fix that from a policy point of view. From a policy point of view.
Resident PS, before I forget.
Yeah.
Why did you see those farmers? Is it factual that those farmers were getting medals?
Yes.
That was a PF. was a PF
No,
thing here.
No,
PF was
I want to see that.
supported.
I need to see those facts.
now let me
And you know, today I'm really, I want to see the facts.
let me tell
Show
you
me the
something.
video.
I
Send
will
me
not.
the video.
It was
I'm even going to tell you a personal experience which happened in Northern Province, where I have a little small holding there. Now I require a farm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you go there is a depot there where they put maize there. And that is where people are going to get fertilizer from. People are using initiative work on fertilizer. It was not everybody was given fertilizer. And that is why you see people started complaining about fertilizer. What is government's response? If you don't have to believe me. Just check what was government's position when the issues of Medas came in place. Do you know what the position was? That it's better you share the little that you have. That was the justification. Look at government response. You don't even have to believe me. Just go back and check when there was that fertilizer crisis and people started complaining about it. See what government response was. You will be disappointed about the government response. It's a policy that must be able to shape this thing. On the fertilizer, now food, if we do not subsidize the small-scale farmers at household level, the way the Congolese do, they come to our people, pay produce for a hectare. So even when the FRA is giving the floor price there, it doesn't happen. They will just those that are desperate, maybe 10 for FRA. The Congolese are down there buying all the maize, buying everything at double the price. And they're getting the food out of there because we have not sustained in a productive way where there should be sustainability at household level. We have not looked at household level. We've gone higher. And this higher look at agriculture is going to bite the Zambians again. So I think let's get the policy right, like Mambulo has said, and then we can get the agricultural sector right.
All right, let's try convent, and because we have just 10 minutes, today I promised myself we need to end at 4 o'clock on the dot. Convent, can you hear us now? You want to participate in this discussion on farming inputs being distributed to all farmers countrywide? Your take? Okay, maybe there. Did I hear something? Okay, let's move on.
Hello.
Yes. Is that convent?
Yes. Niveka.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Where are you joining us from, sir?
Sebenzisani cha Morocco. Stima kwanisa chizungu.
Okay, what is the Chamlok? What's the language Chamlok?
Nikuti kwene mtimberera. Nikuti kwene mutiti.
Nyanja ndiye ya Morocco gaidi chitonga simunga mvere venangu na vere
ino
ni
matubona buti ino. Matubona buti. Mwabanzino. Gamwamba muchitonga.
Muchitonga, Lozi, Nyanja, we understand.
Yes, Gamwamba.
Somebody will interpret.
Who interpret for the rest, Gamwamba.
Bachirufya ingaba mwachitonga.
Turabambira muchitonga we.
One Zambia, one nation, one people.
Turabambira muchigua.
Southern province.
Okay.
I lived in
ndaswirira mumwe kuba kuti hindari unhwaga botu. So ndiri mwakanyama awa.
Murusaga, okay.
Ndiri murusaga mwakanyama. So ndaterera awa enkani ya bulimi. Bamarimi ihurumende irabasapota kumuromo igureka kujita. So
Can I explain that in English?
Let him finish, Bamaji.
Please, Bamaji.
Omula wachitonga. Butika mu wachitonga takububipe.
Okay. so mbuli bamalimi tatuyandi kusapotwa kumulomo kuyandika kutusapota buya mbokwerere kusapotwa onona waso namwe onka kwa mujira ndatera kuti bali kukaka kwa bana nkhani ya fertilizer ona waso kwa mujira bapati bangu babana mupagi lyomwe muhina lyabo wanjira abantu nabalifo barabana kasaka komwe tusaka tobire bantu bobire kuti bagainda agati urumende yandikana kubikira mano ayo mapenzi anzara ina narangirwa kuyagumana kuti nati yajincha urumende so erede kujincha iuranga kuti ino ibantu mboyipa mafertilizer ino iba irabaphaga botumbuli mboberere ndaterera oba namba himwami boyaba bari kuganana kuti ikutika kuli nzara mung'anda kokuti imuharwe orang'anda jirapha kuba uba swebo toba maruminga ohamburi kuti buya buri kuti burombwana babugusha mu burugwe bagubwanzika mugasamu burarengerera abantu babubona tuganana inkani yanza so
yasta munyama
mbuli yijipani buya mbuli burero buri gobo utamusisa nanko muri noba masororawa iguti mutajinchi kuti mujinche kuyo kumuromo mutajinchi mumijito 2026 tamuiboni I think this and the correpona.
I think I understand
what
you're saying. I understand most of what you're saying. Serious. I understand what most what you're saying is this. You're saying
Vagarinda.
Let's Vagarinda come in.
Vagarinda.
No, you never used to come in.
Vagarinda.
No, but I understand what he was saying. I understand what he.
And so there's no need to and I can interpret for you. Now that Mario wants to take it out. I can interpret what the gentleman was saying. But Manja, I'm ready to interpret it actually. Now I just laughing.
May I understand everything? Maybe I can't just speak well. I was teaching at Masuk High School. It's Yasikawole.
Okay.
So I can relate.
So what he's talking about some lip service provision. Lip service.
What has happened with Mr. Mami's connection?
I'm saying the man was talking about the provision of lip service from the government in regards the input. Sometimes they are not doing their best.
Much a big candid the way
Can
he
you get
was
me?
candid.
That one I caught.
No, I mean, he was talking about
But he talked about something else after that.
Wow, Macha. Big
lip
candid.
service. Lip service. Lip service on the provision of inputs from government is what he doesn't want.
You see, Vagarinda.
I'm here.
What the man is saying, we are being supported pakanwa amaranda kanwa eyo mulevo mpya not if chitu ifili pakira utamule pera ba elo aleso kano kusokati ngachauta muchinjishe 2026 tamwaka imone.
Okay. Can I also counter that? Because Mr. Mufwambi came in here and gave us his personal viewpoint on what is going on in his home village. But I can also counter that by stating that this week this past week actually, I was talking to my father's sister, my aunt in Shikatende village. By the way, she did a video call for me. I was very proud of her. And my aunt tells me she is in a cooperative where she's getting 8 bags of fertilizers and what else did you say? And some maize seeds and ground seeds, and all she's required to pay was 500 kwacha, which is why she called me for. And I sent that money, and I confirmed this morning to say she got her fertilizer yesterday. So maybe what's obtaining in Mujila, we should not say it's obtaining countrywide. Maybe that could be a personnel issue. Maybe the people who are doing the distribution purpose in Mujila are not doing the right thing.
Vakalinda,
I would like to say that.
Vakalinda,
Yes.
what he is saying, it is in a lot of places. How many metric tons of fertilizer have been distributed to date? When people say, oh, we have distributed to everywhere, ask them in terms of the quantity, because you're going to know how many people have from the number of the metric tons that have been distributed, and 2, how many small-scale farmers have been on that kind of arrangement where they're in those cooperatives. How many are they?
And the rider to that one.
You see,
Yes.
the
And the rider
problem
to
that
that
we
one.
have.
What is the rider?
Are those implements being distributed for free?
Can I finish, Wamata?
You have
Is
to
it free of
pay.
charge?
You have to pay. I mean, I know
This
I
is
sent my aunt 500 kwacha she asked for.
Vakalinda.
Yes.
And these are the things that are there. You see, in Gachagua, we don't ask critical questions. What Banani has brought in, what's the name again?
Bamufwabi.
Bamufwabi. What Bamufwabi has brought in. Bamufwabi's point of view is a reflective of many areas. There are very few areas where they can say conclusively, say, oh, not to fertilizer. And by the way, if you say pay 500, in the village, it's difficult. Because in salary, to pay 500 kwacha. And you see, that is what is the policy problem is. Because in the past, people were getting fertilizer without that down payment demand. Cooperative, it's a small money, maybe 20-25 kwacha. But now it has been commercialized. And the numbers are getting low. The distribution is late. How do you distribute fertilizer in October? It is also a problem. Now, the issues that is raising, when are they going to be corrected? When is the kick-starting of the rain season? So government needs to come out clear with the policy, and also to give us the right numbers of the metric tons that they've distributed and to where, and by district, because that is very easy. It's computerized now. They can go online and say, okay, this is what is there.
In
Lip
conclusion,
service
I
must not
think
be
we can be
entertained.
in
disappointed.
conclusion,
Before you conclude, you're too fast to conclude.
no, it's been too. I mean, I'm measuring people. It's we need to finish by 4. It's already 4:01.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what
Before
I
we
can
conclude,
say.
I wish in Congole ya fio twakwete was if they are just Congola the fertilizers ingi sana, maybe this problem of hunger was not going to be there. But in Congole ya shele bakufio yo tawareti pia
ngatamwashitisha amataba ngatakulinsala
na imwenga makongwere
Always.
fertilizer ingi
imo mwali kongolengera
ngatakulinsala.
beshinzukutiriesho abanenu bakongolere.
Okay. All right. Let's put a lid on this.
Yeah, let's put a lid on it.
Let's put a lid on it.
Yes.
Gentlemen, we fight every week. We'll fight another day next Sunday. So how about we go with the rants? Who wants to start with the rant today?
Bachanda batampirira.
Vamacha start.
Tala imwenishi.
Okay, the two of you. The two of you, you are not going to have a rant this week. Dr. Bolo, your rant for this week, Doc.
Yeah, I think Mr. Mufavi gave a very, very interesting overview actually what's going on with the farming. Like I said, maize farming is not like we started today, and this basically been going on, and we sort of seem to be repeating the same thing. So the challenge of giving fertilizer, as Wakalinda said, the ant got 8 bags and paid 500. It's not the same everywhere else. So it comes back to now to the policy and how those policies are implemented. Are we going to do the same thing? We are repeating. MMD did this, PF, UNIP did this. Can we find a better way? And can we graduate our small scale farmers to be more commercial?
That's
They
right.
can be able to pay, but we need to empower them and educate them. So thank you very much.
I'm in
Right.
with my, I'm in with my
But
rant now.
Lufia, let's go ahead with your rant. Forget about this group. These two today, let's go
24th,
ahead, Lufia.
24th October is Independence Day.
Anyway, so
And
this is my right.
oh,
Mama, tell
okay.
me about you.
About to tell about us. We have no rant today, so we are just proceeding. Go
I
ahead.
have a rant. I have a
Here,
I
rant.
here's
have
the thing.
also. I have as well.
No, you go after me.
Yes,
So
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead,
when
Bantu.
I finish, then you can go and present your submissions.
Okay,
But
okay.
what I'm saying is this: abantu in Zambia, they need to realize one thing, and one thing they need to realize is this: umuteka, you know, you can have different leaders in life. Bantu, you can dream of the best leader in your world, you know. But there's so many people that have been chosen by God, and when God chooses and appoints you to do a job, enjoy of it. Okay, some people they are not appointed by God. That's why you find certain things are not happening the way they're supposed to be happening. When the world and the child should be, it's moving ahead, and Zambia is stuck. But here's the thing: our leader right now is the most prolific leader. Believe it or not, like it or not, is the most prolific leader that we've had in the last 60 years. Okay? Some people are calling him the founder of the modern day.
The
Okay?
volume is low.
The volume is low.
Yes, Bantu Lufia.
He's been projected as they. Mnangova?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
He's been now being projected as the modern day. Okay? Kaunda. And here's the thing. Bakaunda. 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 Just to mention his name. He built he built the manufacturing industries all around each other. And nobody has ever heard or seen any industrialized evolution for the last 60 years. Now, as we are
No,
talking,
no, I want you to ask Kabani. Let's allow him to speak. Yeah, mute yourself.
as
Mm-hmm.
we are talking now, Omuntu Naisa Aleta Ema Industries yakwebati. Right now, there's a very big, we've not caught it, huge, humongous, okay, instrument that's going to be, yeah, huge. It's been talked about from Namibia, from Botswana. People are talking about where is this going, and people think it's going to Zambia. Kukasiem, mama, investments. Abantu, now they can come. Investors, donors for various things. They're coming back now. Say, no, 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 no. I think we can do
Network.
na
Hello,
we can deal
hello.
with him because
Who is that? We can.
I could not get it. I could not
Okay.
get anything.
Okay.
well, I don't know. Can everybody get it?
We can now.
Yeah. So I don't need to know where boy. So the thing is this: abantu abengi, they're coming on board, and we are moving in the right direction, whereby we'll be presenting each local to. You can imagine, like, look, the European Union had said no, we don't want to deal with Zambia anymore. The European Union is back on board now. Okay, because why? HH is a solid leader. Okay, not our leadership. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, even. We don't need
Hey,
that. We need solid leaders.
Okay.
okay.
But if you rephrase that statement.
Now let
Oh,
him withdraw it, not rephrasing it. Withdraw it.
really withdraw.
Withdraw that statement. It's profanity.
Oh, well, I'm going to withdraw it.
Yes,
I'm going
thank
Yes,
to
you.
withdraw
but
it.
you have spoken it.
Yeah, I've spoken it and I'll withdraw it. But what I can say is this: leadership doesn't come from Kubuta. No, and leadership doesn't come from certain individuals. Leadership comes from the people, and the people themselves. Balaland and in the modern day, like well, in the 21st century, there's no way umuntu kuti bamusanangane bamusala futhi up after all the mistakes and bad decisions that he made for the country of Uganda. When there's a leader that's providing all the solutions, I don't know. I want to listen to somebody who's gonna give me a different opinion. Like nibadani abengezi mukuchinga nani kani HH. No,
In conclusion,
yeah. I need a better. We need a better opposition leader. We don't have it.
Okay.
But wait,
all right. Mr. Marsh.
2 runs. 3 weeks ago, I asked whether the invitation to attend the independence celebrations to ECO have been extended to him. I'm yet to hear whether it has happened because independence celebrations cuts across every petty differences that people have. Independence is just independence. He needs to attend that one.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second, my second rant is on the hey bachanda mwamuna bachanda nalaba nokulaba nomu. I've forgotten it, so it's okay.
fish Mwalaba, fish Mwalaba. Let me remind you. What did you want to say?
Bachanda balenga tinalaba bachanda kazi ya mwamuna nalaba nefuna chirafu kulandai.
Kocha abanga mwatirafu huku bepo ofima mwache. Kula kufura wetu ngini.
Yeah, the two of you are something else.
So, my rant are twofold. Number one, the happening of stoning the convoy for ECO is bad.
What?
The stoning of ECO convoy is
I've never heard
bad.
about that.
Where was this stoned? How come we missed this
In
one?
Tingola, actually, it is all over online.
When?
Today.
That is bad.
Did it just happen?
No, even before we started, it was there. I will send you the video. The videos are all over online.
Let me see.
Where someone is even dressed in white, you see, in white overall, and threw a huge stone and hit the car, and the police were right there in his face. Right there. So we
Tema issues
let's not
my church was going through the same thing
You understand?
1 years ago.
Let's finish his
If you start playing with people's lives like that, and we start playing cheap politicking where we're supposed to condemn that, is not going to be good. If that guy did it, that is how you can stop that kind of crap.
He's
That
alone.
thing
That one is alone.
That thing happened in presence. What is very hating is that there has been a lot of times the president has said, Kadarism, you will not see stone throwing. Today it has happened right in front of the police, right there. These guys went and ransacked the funeral house in Ishmaelshika. They ransacked the funeral house, caused a lot of damage to property there. And these are UPND cadres. Why am I saying UPND cadres? Because the police were right there. You see, colleagues, we must not allow this. These are the things that everyone has condemned in the past. And these are the things that the president said will kiss goodbye. Can we see the actualities of saying you are on your own by giving those as examples? Because you see, if they start attacking people like that in full view of the police, people will start reacting in the compounds when they meet each other. And that is the beginning of anarchy. So for me, this is very unfortunate. You may not like President Edgar Lungu. You may not do this, but he is a citizen who has the right, and he has the right to exercise them in a manner that is so legally, guided. But to start throwing stones at him like that is not right. And I hope that the UPND government is going to work at that, because that is very, very, very disturbing.
Okay. Mtutumileka video yako.
All right. I haven't seen anything. Actually, I was doing a little research as you spoke. I haven't seen anything right now. But if that indeed has happened, I know that this current government will, the police, those people will be arrested. That's for sure. So hopefully the police will move in swift and get those people behind bars, because there's no room for that kind of behavior in our country. We wish not to go back to where we're coming from. And as for my rant this week, there is no rant. Actually, before we do, we have Mr. Mufambi. I even forgot. But Mufambi badala, nkomonjile muli mwidao. Twasika anihi. Our program is support kwamba ikuti amuliyambirire. So twakuti sununjiri kumoyo kwenu chinzi amuliyambirire. Chomuhije chamfemina. Potwasika. So kamutwambira chiri kumoyo kwenu suno.
Okay. Ukuba kuti vachanda vakazia vakanana ono chendiyanda kukanana chakuti vapurezidendi Jonse chindi mbulimbo kungambakambausi vakambauka muno pona muno sunutirwa chitika kuchingora ejiya jatove jaganana kuti mbuli kuti chakuhanya buyo notwachipona festiswe twayeya kuti ndiza baha akainde bainda akali mazuba aba PF ani chajanika kuti chasunubwe vashimurawo kabaliko ibasilikani umwe mwarume uriya muntu mupati bwe ubanka uramuzwe ikubweza bwe kuma kumota pona bamuranga buyo ejiya ikutina kaya makampeni tana kutarika wati mori ya makampeni tatunoko saurwi mikosi so ejia kuti nakuliba pati omu ulia murombwana mbona mbuli video mboya boneka kale mboya unka viral ndiho makuta ajatwa aboneke kutekwa kuti tuhibe kuti wajatwa tuhibe kuti ejia chajita hurumende tiyaboterwa Edgar Lungu bari kumwa mabwe bagaruzagare baya ba former president ona mbokungamba former president ko kuti ni property bya mbantu mbona mburi ndime tabezera kumwa mabwe inoga iba ominwa himabwe chaji tabu ya chinzija kuti ichi party jarejo cha ominwa mabwe mwabona Jesu yamuka into ngoba kajatare 100 uramba mutamumi mwa so I think ndiye yakuti ejiyaja jitiga jaboneka buya ntangarara kuri ba Edgar Lungu kambo bakari bareri bajisi wati moguri baba bamwi ibari mburindiswa kuti oro wa umwamabwe tamugobona nishimbanji ba umwaba abantu bari hibide so gwandikana kubikira mano twarumbaga pati
now Mufabon said you want
twarumbaga pati tata
I'm still looking for that video. I can't find it. Anyway, as for me,
let me say my tonga before you go.
Yeah, kabi any dandin.
Narumba kapati, narumba, and I really appreciate what you've said. You know, in terms of you recognizing and making sure I want to in the grassroots and being recognized. Okay, Warumba pakati. Ne chindi chimana. You know, chindi chamana for a new revolution. Okay, chindi chamana. We don't need the same people confusing us. Okay, so chindi chamana and the chindi new pendi.
Okay, I've just seen that video. I think this is unfortunate. That man needs to be picked up like yesterday. There's no nonsense for this.
I've not seen it.
You go on Kenny Dumbo's. Okay, let me just share it. I'll share it on the BantuTV WhatsApp. You should be able to get it. Yeah, it's just, this is nonsense. Cannot be. Anyway, cannot be allowed in our country. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We cannot allow this nonsense. But then, are these people at UPND? We don't know yet. Somebody has to confirm.
Do they have cards? Do they have cards?
No.
Are they card carrying members?
You see, Babacha, they don't need to be. You see, there is a way police react. You cannot throw such a stone from the opposition. The police are there looking at you.
Okay, this is another topic on another side.
Yes.
We've already spoken about it. Let's do my rant. It's 4:21. My goodness, I'm already gone over. Anyway, gentlemen, there's no rant. All I'm going to do is North London forever. Whatever the weather, these streets are all.
You are mourning.
We'll leave you never. Arsenal for life, win or lose. Gentlemen, until next week. Ciao. Keep the faith.
Adios.
We are all.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Back on 20.